All right, this is another FSD 12.5.6.3 video. Heading downtown to meet with a client. I'll be doing about 3 hours total driving. A lot of that's going to be highway with the new end-to-end, as well as quite a bit of city driving in Vancouver. I'll start FSD now. So it should be a kind of a good mix of everything. I'll fast forward the boring parts and narrate the interesting parts as much as I can. Yeah, hope it's a good drive. I've got kind of critiques in my last videos for not disengaging to give feedback, even though it's like nothing critical that I didn't disengage for. I should still disengage if the car is doing something incorrect. So in lieu of that, you can hold this button, the car button, and it'll actually send a report back to Tesla. It's like very similar to a disengagement without having to disengage. So you may see me do that a couple times in the video. You just press and hold this and a little notification will pop up on the screen. It'll say whatever feedback was sent to Tesla. So for non-critical issues that don't require disengagement, that's what I'm gonna do. But otherwise, yeah, this is the drive. I'll try and make it as interesting as possible. So we should wait for both of all these vehicles. Okay, good, there's lots of traffic here. There's this truck, one more, and then as soon as this is gone, we can go. So if we go right now, that's perfect. Great job. And then we're merging. There's nobody on our left, so we should just continue through. Follow this. Yeah, perfect. All right, so traffic circle here. No traffic, unfortunately, from our left, so we should just go straight through. And then we should continue. There's a truck coming, but we should keep going. Yep, perfect. And then we'll merge on right here. And then we have a merge that's before the actual highway merge, but it doesn't look like we're gonna have any traffic from there. Interesting, already we're on the highway profile. Last time I didn't actually do it until we merged up here. So we're on standard. I'll probably leave it on standard or chill just because I don't love the follow distance that hurry gives, but I may click over to hurry just to kind of like, you know, see what the different profiles, how they behave. So you can see right now in standard, the car is gonna make the move to, go into the left lane. And what I'm hoping is gonna happen right away here, as soon as we pass this car, I'm hoping we signal right. So if it was me, I would signal pretty much now. But it's not gonna do that. That's fine. We can stay in this lane. We're keeping up with traffic. So I have it set to 116 is the max it will go. I would only usually do 10 over, so I'm actually just gonna go down to 110. So 110 is the max it can go. We're in a 100 speed limit. I've talked about this kind of in the past, but coming up here, there's an HOV lane. There's even a sign right here that mentions it. In the car, in autopilot, I have somewhere, I've used HOV lane enabled. So I would like for the car right now to go over. I don't think it will, unfortunately. I think it's a navigation actually. Yeah, use HOV lane. So the car knows that I want to use HOV lane. This is an HOV lane. Yeah, small thing, but I would love if it just sat there, because for me especially, I have way more than 12 kilometers. I have basically 80% of this drive is going to be on this highway, and the entire time I could be sitting in that HOV lane and not needing to worry about merging in and out of different lanes. It's a simpler drive, right? So that's why if I'm driving myself, I would always have sat over there. And in previous FSD, I could put myself into that lane, enable FSD, and it would stay in the HOV lane for the entire time. Now, the way it works, even if I signal and put us over there, it'll decide to pop out randomly, and I can't really do anything about that. Like here, I'll show you. So I'll signal, the car will go in the HOV lane, which is great, and then we'll just see how long it stays here for. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it'll stay here the entire time, but I have had it in the past signal to leave, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Right here, first of all, we shouldn't be merging because there's this solid line. So technically what we're doing is illegal. You're not supposed to leave the HOV lane while the line is solid, but we moved out of the HOV lane. We're now in the fast lane. I mean, it's okay because there's not a car right behind us, but we shouldn't be here. We should have either stay there or now at least go into the middle lane. So this is the only thing I don't love about the new end-to-end on the highway. Like, it's a very capable build right now and does a great job. It's just decisions like this that I don't have control of anymore, and so it's driving pattern I don't love. Like, if I put it in chill, I'm assuming we'll go over, but there's a car, so I might wait. But I would like for it to stay there. Yes, we're in chill. We're gonna move over. I don't know if we're gonna go over too. We should just stay here. So we'll see how the car does now in chill. All right, so even though we're in chill, we're going under the speed limit, and I've said that it can go up to 110. I don't want to be behind a semi. Like, they're going to kick up rocks, debris, whatever. I would love for the car, after this car passes, to signal and go around, but I'm not sure if it'll do that. So I'll give it a little bit here. Yeah, I think we won't. And I can hear rocks kind of hitting the window. They're just small rocks, but I'll wait till this car passes. I'll give it one last chance to move on its own, and then I'm going to put it into standard and see what it does. So pretty aggressive braking there. Semi's now moving over, so I'm going to go into standard. We're going to go, no, there's a vehicle coming. We should go, yep, good. So again, this is where I'm going to initiate it, but had we been in the HOV lane this entire time, all of this gets avoided. You just sit here and you don't have to deal with any of this stuff, right? Not for everyone, because not everybody can use the HOV lane, but for me personally, this is where I want to be. I'll even try, I'll keep it on hurry in the HOV lane and just see maybe it'll favor the left lane in hurry.
Was so patient. He was like, yeah.
Yeah, so here's another one. Again, HOV lane. We were good where we were, and we've now, in hurry mode, moved to be in traffic in this lane. The only thing I can think is because we had a car behind us, but an HOV lane isn't treated like a fast lane. Like, I was going more than the speed limit, and that's all that's required. It's not a passing lane. You can go exactly the speed limit. I think you could probably even go under the speed limit, but just because there's a car, I'm going to move us back. Just because there's a car behind us in the HOV lane is not reason for full self-driving to go over to the fast lane. It shouldn't be. And again, maybe that's a driver preference thing. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. Yeah, because I was going 10 over. So if someone wants to go faster than me, they can go into the fast lane and pass me and then pop back into the HOV lane. But the car should be comfortable to sit here without getting pushed over the fast lane. But otherwise, the drive is great. I mean, it's such a minor issue for me at this point that if they can address that and then set a custom follow distance, I think I would never need to touch the wheel on the highway, which already it's amazing. So just those few little tweaks would make end-to-end on the highway basically perfect for me. I also, while I was fast forwarding there, I put in Costco as a stop along the way. People have just been asking to see Smart Summon done at Costco, and I've up until now avoided doing that, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, Smart Summon's really good. My only issues with it today are that it's a bit too cautious around pedestrians and people walking around. So you end up being the slowest vehicle at times in the parking lot, which can be a problem. So not safety issues, more just, I don't know, like potential embarrassment if somebody gets mad that the car is stopped in the middle of the intersection. So we'll see how it does. I don't think I've ever really done Smart Summon in a packed parking lot like this before. And I hope to get some kind of interactions from people as well. I'll keep the windows down with the microphone on and see if we hear anything. All right, it's a nice job getting over, even though we're in a hurry and we were a couple lanes over there. It did a good job getting over into this right lane nice and early, so tons of time. Didn't feel like we were rushed at all. And now we're taking the exit here. So we're going 90. We should slow down now already. Like, I know it'll slow down, it'll be fine on this corner, but it's just gonna be more harsh than it needs to. I guess that was fine. It's hard. Again, like, I'm perhaps an overly cautious driver, and I would have started slowing down a lot sooner, but that felt great, actually. So we should get the advanced green and just continue through here. Good job. Perfect. Really smooth making all these lane changes and getting over in time. All right, so I'm gonna grab lunch. I'm gonna park us somewhere in the back as far as I can from the door that I can still use summon. And then I may do one or two, we'll see, summons and just kind of see how it does in this scenario. Yeah. I mean, I've seen lots of people use summon in Costco parking lots, so I have faith that it will do it. I hope to get some people reacting to it, because that's kind of definitely the fun part of it all. I'm really curious because Banish is supposed to be added in the future, meaning you would be able to go to the front of the door of a mall parking lot, Costco, and then the idea would be that you would banish your car and just send it to park on its own, which, I mean, sounds incredible. There's just so many like nuanced decisions with parking, especially in situations like this. Like, this guy is waiting for that spot, but with the car, especially in a busy parking lot, like, ever understand that somebody's like leaving a spot soon and know to wait for that spot? Or would it only just circle until it saw like an empty parking spot and then go to take it? But what if there's an empty parking spot that another car is waiting for and the Tesla then goes to steal it, right? Or reserve parking spots, things like that, handicap. Yeah, like, it sounds like the best feature that the car could add, because I hate finding parking spots, but I think it's going to be really, really difficult to pull it off. So we'll see how it goes. Is this guy leaving? All right, so I have it parked in kind of a quiet spot on the parking lot, so I'm actually going to try and get it to come through different parts and then past the front. I'll just be walking while it does the come to me, so. All right, so should turn right here. It's gonna come through kind of a busy intersection. This is the main entrance area. Might be hard to tell in the video. It takes a wide turn, so it's kind of more in the middle of the lane. It's correcting itself now. But it should be over more to the right for sure. It's my only issue right now. But it does move when it sees other vehicles, so I guess it's fine. And then I'm gonna walk up towards the front, so hopefully it turns right now. Okay, lots of traffic here. So I'm hoping it turns right after this car goes by. Yeah, nice job. And yeah, like it is just putting itself on the wrong side of the road too often as it makes these turns. But okay, and I'm gonna walk through the front, so it has to deal with kind of all the traffic and people as they come out. Okay, so we're perhaps in a weird spot here. Where's the car? Oh, nice job. Fairly aggressive move to get through there. Should turn left. Nice. And then lots of pedestrians and people through here. Should wait. It looks like it will. Maybe won't. Yeah, nice job. And then I'm just gonna wait right here for it to come over to me. Okay, perfect job. All right, so that was pretty good. Definitely like a few challenging scenarios. I mean, it fully went through the Costco parking lot as much as I could get it to do. I walked kind of everywhere, so I made sure it went through the front. And I'll have to look at the video, but as far as I could tell, it did a really good job. It seemed like it made a good maneuver a few times to get around vehicles that are waiting and pedestrians. Yeah, nice job. I'm gonna pull over and switch the camera back for the rest of the drive. So 2 minutes here. All right, so that was pretty good. I feel like Smart Summon kind of crushed it there. No issues at all, and fairly busy parking lot. I mean, there's definitely been busier Costco's, but as far as the parking lot goes, that was pretty chaotic, and I think it did a good job maneuvering when it needed to, stopping when it shouldn't, or stopping when it should, things like that. Yeah. So now I'm just headed to meet up with my client. I'm gonna try and have it leave the parking lot here, so we should be a little bit more aggressive. Like I think, yeah, this guy's letting us out. Thank you. Yeah, that's good. We got lucky that she stopped for us. It would have been nice for the car to be pulled forward a little bit more just to kind of show our intent to leave, but worked out well anyways. We should go. Yeah, great. Okay, nice job. We had an advanced green. The light went yellow as we were passing through it, but we just kept going. Okay, I'm a little surprised by this decision. Yeah, maybe I thought, because these cars, this truck and another vehicle were stopped in this lane, so I wondered if we were gonna have to go around it, and it looked like it was just somebody turning slow. So the car actually went into the left lane, even though we were about to turn right, and I think that was just to get around them thinking it was stopped, and then as soon as we went into the left lane, it saw they were moving again, and so it came back. So honestly, a good decision in some ways, like impressive that it made the move preemptively and not getting stuck behind a stopped vehicle, but yeah. All right, so good job there. The lane was closed. We very easily moved over and back. Seems like an easy, small thing, but it's honestly very impressive how confidently the car navigates decisions like that all the time. Like it's a construction zone, there's a lane closed, we're going into a left turn lane to go straight through an intersection, and it kind of does all that without missing a beat. Like it just understands the situation, drives through it, and does it, which is, it's very, 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 very cool. If you realize what it's doing and think about it, it's impressive. I was also on the phone back there, so I couldn't mention anything, but the car, there was a person getting out of their vehicle, and they were sort of in the lane as they're opening the door, and the car kind of harsh braked, which wasn't great, but I don't know. Like I understand that it's just being overly cautious about pedestrians, so I see why it's doing it. But it would have been nice if it made maybe just a smoother move around the person rather than slamming on the brakes and making that weird little jitter. So nice drop here. I'm curious what it's going to do. This semi is like kind of in both lanes. Okay. Oh, we're going left. Huh. I don't know why it's doing this. We don't need to be in the left lane. And now it's making this car... There we go. I wonder why it made that decision. We were fine in the right lane, and then we could have passed the semi and gotten further ahead. Instead, we signaled left there, which worked out, but ended up being kind of an awkward move. So this is a small thing. A lot of these lights, some are, some aren't, but a lot of people are going to be turning left at these lights, and because it's a busy road, you'll end up stuck in this lane for kind of an entire cycle of a light, and then if there's more people turning left than what make it through, you're going to have to end up having to wait an entire other light cycle. So I think we're going to like catch this yellow, have to stop. For the most part, staying in the right lane in situations like this makes more sense. Or at least if we would have saw parked vehicles in the left lane before the light, we should have moved back over to the right. So I don't know if that's the case everywhere, but yeah, for here, that is how I would drive these roads. All right, so I can see as a human driver that we have a bit of construction coming up. The right lane, the far right lane is closed. and then it looks like just after this light here, the left lane's going to be closed. So again, it's hard to tell because I'm still kind of far away, but as a human driver, I'd put myself over here now just to avoid having to move at a last minute. And there's something on the road here. Oh, it's just a glove. So I would go over now. Okay. The road's quite quiet, so it's not a huge deal. It's just if there was a lot of traffic there, basically as soon as possible, I want the car to see a road closed and make the decision to come over. So in that scenario, though, it worked great. And then I disengaged just for a second there because I saw something on the road. I didn't know what it was. It ended up just being a little black, like a construction glove. But as of now, FSD wouldn't avoid small things like that, and that could be a board with a nail in it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what a little thing on the road like that's going to be, but as a human, I'm almost certainly going to avoid it, since running over something that could cause damage to your vehicle would suck. And it would be nice that in the future FSD did do a better job. If what it's avoiding is within the lane and it can move within its lane to avoid it, it would be nice if it could do that. Like, I don't want it to shoot into another lane to avoid a small little piece of debris on the road unless it deems it's unsafe. But, you know, for potholes and things like this, like if it just kind of maneuvered gently within its lane and made for a smoother, safer ride, that would probably be the ideal way to do things. But it's hard because there's a lot of things in the road all the time, and if at every minute it's making micro adjustments, maybe that would end up feeling more uncomfortable because the ride would be a lot of like jerking around. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is to that. It's funny, so I'm just passing this gas station and there's people out of their cars filling gas. Something that I don't think gets talked about enough with EVs is everyone loves and wants to kind of find a reason why an electric vehicle is going to be more inconvenient than their gas car. And there are definitely scenarios where a gas vehicle makes sense. Like if you're towing a lot and you need the utility of a big truck, unfortunately, battery technology just isn't at the point yet where you can replace a dually diesel pickup truck that tows. And, you know, if you go to the mountain and you want to go snowmobiling, things like that, like a gas or diesel vehicle will make more sense for you. But an electric vehicle for almost every person on the road right now today makes so much sense. Like if you can charge at home and you're looking at buying a new vehicle, if you don't buy an electric vehicle, I don't know why you would make that decision. Like, you wake up every morning to a full tank of gas. At minimum, it's 450-ish kilometers. And then, you know, you can get the longer ranges. This is just speaking for Teslas. You can get a 500 plus kilometer range car. Nobody's driving 500 kilometers a day routinely. And for the road trips where you do drive more than 500 kilometers, you stop at a supercharger for 15 minutes while you grab a bite to eat, stretch your legs, and you're back on the road. So I've had this car since April. I've driven 26,776 kilometers. I've only been to supercharger 3 times, and that's just when I did a road trip to the interior, Kelowna and Kamloops. So maybe cumulatively I've spent under half an hour. I spent definitely under 30 minutes waiting for my car to charge. And during those 30 minutes, the one time I went into a McDonald's, we grabbed a coffee and a muffin. By the time we came out, the car was done charging. And the other time we stopped and we were, sorry, GoPro died. We were in a complex where there was a shopping mall. We did all of our shopping that we needed. And again, same thing, the car was ready before we were even done shopping. So the rest of the time though, I haven't visited a gas station. I haven't had to pull over and stop. And so like all that time that you spend once every 1 week, once every 2 weeks to get gas, sorry, we should be seeing that this bus is stopping and getting into the other lane. It is signaling now, but now we're kind of trapped and are gonna have to wait for this break in traffic. We should go right, no, should go right. Yeah, we're gonna be slow. So we should go now. That's one thing. If we're following a bus on the right lane, and I'm hoping this is where FSD 13 with like the larger context windows, if we're following a bus in the right lane and we see a bus stop up ahead, or we see that the bus is signaling, as soon as we possibly can, you should get over into this left lane, just to avoid what happened there, because then you kind of get stuck. So, yeah, anyways, to wrap up my little tangent, if you were to add up all the time you spend filling up your gas car, and that has to include the time, because generally a gas station isn't always right on your route, like just there it was, but a lot of times it's at least 5 minutes out of your way. So 5 minutes out of your way, and then you get out of your car, and then you punch in your stupid PIN, and you wait and you fill up gas. Like, the filling up portion is faster than charging EV, there's no doubt about it, but there's a lot of other extra time on either side of getting gas that doesn't get accounted for. So if you add up all those times, owning an EV, you're spending so much less time worrying about that. I had more range anxiety owning a gas vehicle, because when I would be out driving and it'd be late at night, I didn't want to get gas. The next morning I'd be like, well, shoot, I got to get onto the highway to go for this drive, but I got to make sure there's a gas station along the way, because I only have 30 kilometers to empty, whatever it is. I literally never worry about that anymore, because the car's just always charged and full. And the other thing, when I do put in a destination that I don't have the charge for, like when I was doing my road trip, the car tells me, it's like, hey, this is where you're going to have to stop, and for how long you're going to have to stop. I don't think there's many gas vehicles that will do that today. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but yeah, it is unfortunate how divisive electric vehicles have become. Like, people unnecessarily hate on electric vehicles for all the wrong reasons, and they'll find every reason to tell you why a gas vehicle is the worst decision and all of the things that are bad about it. But at the end of the day, this is the step that we need to make to move towards a cleaner future, right? Like, oh, we should stop. Like, this car can be powered by the sun. Like, solar energy can charge a battery, and then that battery can charge this battery, or you can do it directly from solar. That's not an option with any of these other gas cars. And so the fact that we could have more and more solar setups and just use situations like that to power more of our vehicles, like, how is that not the coolest thing ever? And how is everybody here not freaking out about that and wanting to move to electric as soon as possible? Yeah. Sorry for the long tangent there. So this car's turning left. If it was me, I would signal right now. Perfect. Wow. I didn't even see that car. So I would have signaled, honestly, and started moving. And that's the impressive thing about full self-driving, is it saw that car. So I would have maybe been paying better attention if I was actually driving. But that's the thing that people don't really realize with full self-driving. At every moment, it's paying attention 360 degrees around you. So it's never going to make a lane change into an oncoming vehicle, because it sees the vehicle and is tracking it. A human driver just doesn't have that kind of attention span. Like, we can look around quickly and do shoulder checks, but like, if I would have made that shoulder check and looked right and something came from my left, I'm not looking there. Whereas the car can look behind it, sees all those vehicles and everything, and at the same time, it can see everything in front of it. That's the coolest thing about autonomous vehicles, and the future of that is ultimately it's going to become so much safer than a human driver. There's no possible way in this world that a human can compete with an autonomous vehicle that's designed properly, right? Like, there's obviously growing pains, and we're going through that right now, but full self-driving today is very safe. It's not perfect, absolutely not, and that's why it's still supervised, but it's the path towards a very, very safe and cool future. I think I talked about that in my last video, so sorry for kind of ranting about the same thing, but ultimately driving is one of the most dangerous things everybody's going to do. Anybody that's commuting a lot for work, driving is the most dangerous thing you will do every single day. So the thought of making that the safest thing you do every day is a really cool future, right? And again, like that also benefits that biker that we just passed. That benefits pedestrians. That benefits not just you in the car. It benefits everybody and everything around you. So I hope, especially with FSD 13, that the public's perception of full self-driving changes, because as it is right now, I do my best to share these videos and give as unbiased of a review as possible, because I will be critical of this and talk about every mistake it makes. But whenever I try and share that online and tell people about how good it is, I'm almost always, and it depends, like on Reddit versus on X, it's different, but I'm met with a lot of like pushback and people telling me I'm crazy. So excited for the day that changes, like when it's undeniable and the general consensus is, yeah, this is the safest thing ever. Or sorry, this is safer than human driving. And I'm sure that day will come. Until then, I'll just make videos and post them and, like I said, talk about my experiences, and for good or bad. Like I will pick apart this technology because ultimately I just want it to get better. I don't want to cover up any mistakes it makes. I want to talk about the mistakes and its shortcomings, and see it improve. Like, it is very cool to see it improve also. Like every version that comes out, obviously can potentially have regressions, but for the most part, it's shocking how fast they're able to improve on this technology. Because I mean, this isn't like they're updating Windows, or like, you know, they're not launching a new version of Premiere Pro. Like, this is a self-driving car. No other company's ever done this before. So yeah, currently it seems like V13 might be a little bit late to get launched, but that is no reflection on the work that the Tesla engineers are doing. I'm sure they're working as hard as they can and doing everything they can to get it out, right? We have an advanced green at a red light, so we shouldn't stop. We should just go. Yeah, nice job there. A little bit jerky with the wheel, but good job. Let me know in the comments also, like, maybe you guys don't care about my opinion of things, and I should just stick to kind of giving a narrated full self-driving experience and not go off on my little tangents. Part of that is me just wanting to fill the empty space of a lot of this is just kind of simple driving. And other of it is that I like to just share my opinion and have people discuss it, right? So, but if you prefer more of just a to B drive and only discussing the issues, let me know, and I'll stick to that for sure on future drives, or edit out more of my like talking. But it looks like we're almost at the first meeting here. I don't think there was an intervention. I took over at one point there to avoid that what ended up being a glove, and maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, 45 minute drive with a stop at Costco and 2 smart summons, and the car handled it, I think, perfectly. So we should go. Perfect. Okay, kind of a skinny road. That car pulled over for us, which is nice. Great. And then we'll go here. Perfect. Okay, so there's a biker. We want to turn left, but we should wait for them. And then we do, which is great. And taking a left turn. Great. The navigation is complete, and definitely the car loses a bit of its like confidence when that happens, because is it gonna park? Oh, nice job. Cool. Okay, so I'm here. I will get back to you on the rest of the drive in just a few minutes here. All right, so finished up there. Just because of the leaves and stuff, I'm just gonna, well, I guess I'll see what it does. I'll engage FSD. I can't see it starting without a nudge. So yeah, I'll put us in the lane here. That's still definitely an issue where it won't start on its own. So I think if I start now, yeah, no problem at all. I hope and assume in V13 that'll be fixed. Very minor, but obviously be nice for when I hit go for the car to then go. It's strange that it struggles so much you'd think all the clues are there for it. Like, it sees the road, it sees the parked vehicles, it should understand, like, this is where I want to drive, because when it's here, it understands that. So it is really strange how much it has a hard time going from a stop, especially when you're not on the road, like if you're pulled over like that. I'm sure I've mentioned it also before in the past, but a really big thing that this version 12.5.6.3 added is just the overall smoother acceleration. So at times it's still a little bit quick, but before, FSD was just hot off the press to go. Like, it would accelerate really hard, and so like in small areas like this, as you're making little moves in residential areas, it felt really uncomfortable. Whereas now there's almost never that situation where I feel like it's accelerating too quickly. Like, it's all nice and gradual. It's a really good speed that the car goes. With that said, that's kind of the problem that people say with this build is it's a bit too slow for some people at certain times. Like, if you're in a rush, I don't think you're going to want to use FSD as it is today, because a human driver will just navigate quicker. Like, FSD will stop at every stop sign. It will make a check at every part that it should. Whereas a human, especially in small areas like residential areas, they'll kind of roll stop signs all the time. And so that adds up and ends up being much faster for a human to drive. And I don't know the solution to that, because legally, and the right thing to do is to be stopping at all these stop signs. But humans are very impatient. So it's going to be a really hard thing for everyone to hand over total control to a car that's going to drive a little bit slower than they would, albeit safer, because I think most people value their time too much. They don't understand that rolling stop signs and speeding aggressively really doesn't get you there any faster, but it just feels like you're going quicker, right? Small thing. This should be good. This hopefully will be, we were going straight here, and this is like a fairly busy road, so we should stop at the line and then do a fairly aggressive creep pretty much to where this guy is once he goes, to have vision on both sides. Okay, so he goes, so we're gonna go, we'll come to a complete stop, and then I want to do an aggressive creep right now. Yep, perfect. So on the left we're good, and on the right we're, yeah, okay, good, perfect. That was great. There was honestly not that big of a gap. Like, by the time I saw it and thought of it, I was unsure if I should go, but the car had decided. Like, it saw that car, and went. So that was honestly a situation where, as a human, I would struggle, because the distances are so tight that you're looking left and looking right, and by the time you do that, you're uncertain if you should go. The car's looking all the ways. Proceeded. Great job. Yeah, so good job here. It's very tight. Like, we're closer to those vehicles than I would drive, but that's good, because that means we're not going over the yellow line. Like, as a human driver, I would have gone over the yellow line. Okay, so we should creep. Oh wow. You know, there's a four-way stop. So the car is saying it's max 30 right now, which feels a little slow. Maybe it is, because we were on like a bit of a side street, but I would have thought this is closer to 50. I just scrolled the wheel up to allow the car to go closer to 45, just because I can see this car behind us is wanting us to go faster, and 30 does feel a little slow here. Okay, so we should go after that van, but technically we should go right now. I wonder what you guys think of that. So my understanding of four-way stops and how I would have treated that is, we were after that van, absolutely, but because he was going straight, if we would have gone straight at the same time, we would both clear the intersection at the same time as one vehicle. So although we were behind the van, we could have gone at the same time as the truck, and everybody would have waited the same amount of time. We just would have cleared the intersection faster. So that's how, as a human, I would have treated that intersection. But I don't even honestly know if that's right. Let me know if that is. Okay, so here's one where I would go into the right lane like that van did to avoid these people turning, which I don't think we're going to, unfortunately. So like this guy is going to go into that lane, and then there is a car parked right after, so it's going to be you're going to have to merge right away, but you can see like what I was saying earlier, we're now in this lane where this guy is signaling that he's turning left, and we're going to get stuck, and I don't even think there's an advanced green, so I won't disengage, but I think we're going to end up stuck here for a while. Yeah, so all these vehicles are doing what I wish the car would have done. Maybe we can right now, after this truck, we could definitely signal and go around, which would at least be something. Okay, I think it's going to, because it's turning the wheel. It wants to. But I don't think we have enough space in front of us. So yeah, we're here for another light. This I don't think is worth disengaging or reporting, because like, maybe. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This is the reporting thing. So if you hold here, it says, thank you for your feedback. If service is required, schedule it in the mobile app. My understanding is that is the equivalent of disengaging, just there's no voice note attached to it. Though I don't even know. I'd be curious how that all goes. There's no way there's some intern sitting there listening to every voice note. I assume it's just all transcribed. But yeah, so we're stuck here again. And again, if the context window was bigger, FSD should be like, okay, this car's turning. And again, we just closed the gap in front of us. Rather than do that, we should have waited. So now we could go right. And now we can't go right again. Oh. So I'm getting honked at. I might have to do the pedal. I'm going to do a pedal just to get us through here. But this guy's going to be turning. Yeah. So that was a shitty situation where I disengaged to get around it. Because there was people honking. We were like making a weird gesture to go around, but weren't. And the timing was just terrible, because as I did that, the light turned yellow to red, and so people were finishing. 2 people went through a very stale yellow and turned. Then I was the car in the intersection that was red, so then I was stopping people from coming to the right. So it's a mix of FSD, I think, put us in a bad situation, and then I definitely made the mistake of going through that light when I did. All of that could have been very easily avoided if full self-driving had just gone around like kind of the other cars were. So yeah. And that kind of brings up the point of something I've always thought would be a good idea, is if while you're in full self-driving, this goes for every vehicle that's going to have autonomous driving of any sort, it would be kind of nice if there was like a light bar or something on a vehicle that was a different color, that just let people around you know that like this vehicle is being driven by AI at the moment. Because then contextually, if like there's something the car's doing that doesn't seem like what I was just doing, but if the car was lit up, green in the back, people would be like, oh, it's a self-driving car. Like, I sort of understand why it's making a bad decision right now. I personally would like that. Maybe you could toggle it on and off. Like, you could choose whether or not to allow people to know that you're using self-driving. But for me, it's kind of like putting like a new driver sticker on the back of your car. So it just hopefully will let people give you a bit of grace on mistakes that you make. But I don't know. All right, so turning right onto a pretty busy road here. Should be straightforward because we have our light. No pedestrians. Yeah, should just go. Perfect. Did a really good job putting us into this lane, which is the correct thing to do. It's the far right lane, and then from here we can merge over. There's definitely times where full self-driving will make a turn. This guy's so mad. I don't know why he's so mad. Will like merge into 2 lanes over as it makes those turns like that. Why is this guy so sad? Huh. Strange. Okay, yeah, should. Nice job. Parked vehicle here, so we had to kind of accelerate to get around. Good job. That guy with his, I honestly don't know where he's coming from, but he's got his little road rage going on at the moment. This guy right here. It's a nice thing about full self-driving as well. Oh, here, he's going to park beside me. Is full self-driving won't do any of that. Like, people are very irrational, emotional beings when they drive, and they shouldn't be. Like, driving should be a very matter-of-fact, follow the rules thing that you do. And I think just people get way too emotional when they drive, and then all of a sudden make mistakes. So that guy, for whatever reason, is mad at me. And then as a result, it's going to drive a lot more aggressively and just put himself and other people in danger. And it's just, it's silly, it's stupid. I have no idea what he's mad about, but whatever. He needs FSD instead of his Toyota Camry. Really good job getting over here. Super smooth. There was a gap, but it took it perfectly. So now we're going to want to get in this left turn lane and then just stage behind this car. Yeah, really good job. All those moves that it makes through traffic and stopping and things like that, it's gotten so remarkably smooth that it just gives me so much confidence in like the future of FSD. Like it's so good. Once they figure out the little issues that it has, the overall driving experience is incredible. Okay, as a human, I would have given this guy, I guess that would have been wrong. I would have stopped like the car behind us did to let that guy turn, just because traffic's not especially like moving that quick, so I didn't feel bad slowing down. We didn't, which is fine. I just would have, right? So it like so many things they say are personal preference. So I wouldn't fault FSD for that. It's just something I would mention. So yeah, I didn't update to 40, so didn't see that school zone. Will it on this one? Yeah, okay. So that's 40 now, but it's still going 43. I can spin the wheel, and now max is 40. So although we're slowing down, if we had a chance to, we wouldn't go above 40 again, which is the really nice thing about this new build, how you can set a top speed. So you can go through school zones and parks without having to disengage. And so here's something I've spoken about before being an issue. We've left, I'm nearly certain, that school zone, but we're still going to be in a max 40 until we see another speed limit or map data tells the car otherwise. Most people would leave that school zone and just be like, hey, now I can go 50 again. The car struggles with understanding when it can do that. So I'm going to turn the speed back up to, let's say, now it can go 55. Okay, so this is hard. This is good to get into this lane because I think we're avoiding this backup from people turning left here. The only struggle is, oh God. Man. I don't know, I'll have to watch the video. I think we went through that light on a stale yellow, which again, very legal, very fine, but that guy was about to turn into us like kind of the same as my last drive. A lot of these situations, I'm letting the car go further than I would had I not been recording. because I think I would have just stopped it. Seeing that stale yellow, I would never have let it enter. But I want to see what it does in that situation, and I think how it handled itself, kind of like I said in my last video, perhaps legal, perhaps correct, but I think it should pick up on the fact, especially because there was a car sitting there very far at the intersection. Like, as a human, I see that guy, I'm like, that guy's gonna want to clear the intersection, so why would I go into this intersection on a stale yellow? The car should see that and not proceed on that yellow. We didn't need to. We were going slow enough, and then it just put us in a bad situation where I had to intervene because he, for whatever reason, continued to turn left although we were in the intersection. So yeah, not ideal. So definitely that's another disengagement. And yeah, not to harp on the car too much, but like I said, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I wouldn't have got in this lane, and maybe it'll work out for us, but okay, there's a red car that's 1, 2, 3, 4 back. That red car would be us had we not put ourselves here, and I'm curious what's gonna happen. Because I think although there's a bunch of space to make up here, because this guy's turning, we're gonna get stuck for a while, perhaps even the whole light. So let's see what it does. It wants to go there. It'd be very aggressive if it did that. Okay. This all ended up working out better than if I had done it, to be honest, but there was a good chance that we would have got stuck in that lane for an entire light. So I'm actually curious. I'm going to touch my phone for a second here, and pull up Google Maps and see. So the car thinks we're in a 40 zone still. This is the only way I can easily verify. Yeah, so Google Maps is telling me that this is a 50. So since that park, however, our school zone way back there, I don't think we've ever clicked out of being in a 40. And I think it is going to be this way until we see a speed limit sign, which on these roads generally isn't. And it's too bad because obviously the map data is there. Like Google Maps knows that it's a 50. So using whatever data that Google Maps is using, the car should understand that as well. Like I get that there'll be scenarios where map data will say one thing, and then let's say you go through a construction zone and it brings up a new speed limit. Great, adhere to the new speed limit, but understand that it's temporary and that ultimately we should be following the road speed limit. Tough to know the best way for it to do that, but yeah, I just have to think that it should rely on map data more than it is. Okay, really good job here, and this is definitely one of those situations where I think full self-driving is picking up a lot of cues on other drivers. 3 people swung over to this lane, and then as soon as the car saw those people doing that, we moved over, and I think that's to avoid people turning left in this lane. So yeah, really good job, assuming that it works out for us here, but really good job moving over to avoid, yeah, this guy's turning left, so at very least we'll be behind him. This will be interesting. We should clear the nice, yeah, really good job. In the intersection, bus was stopped right away, so we swung over mid-intersection. That was great. Good job there. Oh, this is an interesting left turn. Okay. There's a car right here. Now we're in front of this bus. Okay, good job. It's a very narrow road. It's good to see how the car handles it, though. That was really good. I don't even know if I would have turned left there because I would have just assumed we can't. All right, car got us here. I'm gonna take over and park and just finish with what I need to do. And then I'll touch base when I'm done. So, yeah. All right, heading home now. Very off topic, but it's great to mention. Teslas are cool. I'm sitting here in my car doing something and I can just watch YouTube while I'm chilling. definitely not many other cars that I can do that, so not full self-driving related, but just a little shout out. Anyways, so going home now. I think it's going to be quite a long drive. Yeah, hour 20. So definitely going to be a lot of traffic and then a lot of highway. So we'll see how this goes. This is where, I mean, it's still not great, even though it's self-driving, but I would be a lot more annoyed having to do this manual, knowing the car is going to do 99% of this whole drive. I can kind of just chill for an hour 20, talk to you guys as well as listen to a podcast. So we got people on the road here on either side. Really good job in the car just going rather than getting hung up on either of those people. And then, so we should creep forward and go. Perfect. Yeah, nice job. Speed bump here. Nice. Yeah, it slows down for that. All right, so this is a two-way stop, so we're going to have to wait through for traffic to stop. Definitely a busy road. I wouldn't go right now, I don't think. This is tough. I can barely see to the right, so I'd have to wait for like a very big gap on the left to be comfortable to go. Okay, nobody coming on the left for a long time, so the car's definitely taking initiative to move forward a little bit more. Though we're still not in the intersection, which is nice. Like, we're not in the way if we need to stop. This car can still go by. Still gonna have to wait. There's a gap coming up here. No, not really. Okay, this person's gonna go, so this car's gonna stop, so we should go. Exactly, perfect. So really good job there. That was a busy intersection, tough to see through, and the car handled exactly like I would have made every little adjustment forward that I would have. And then, yeah, as soon as they stopped for that girl at the crosswalk, we proceeded, so that's perfect. So nobody on the left, nobody on the right. We don't really care about the right, but we should go right now. Yeah, perfect. And it's hard to tell, but we definitely, as we passed that car on the right, we moved over to give, good job slowing down here. We moved over to give the car coming on more speed, or more space, because this is quite a narrow road. Slowing down for sure for the speed bumps, so really good job on these speed bumps. The speed is perfect what it's doing, the way it's slowing down and the way it's speeding up after. It's exactly how I would handle it as a human. Oh, tiny bit of a phantom brake there after that green light. We went, stopped, and then went again, so not sure what that was all about. Like, the phantom braking that was in the previous version is all but gone. Like, they did fix it, but there is still like a micro brake that will happen at green light sometimes. Not enough of an issue where I feel like someone could rear end us, because it is so minor, but you just feel it when you're in the car. Like, it's a tiny little jitter that I'm not sure what it is. Like, I'm not sure why the car is questioning its decision. That was clearly a green light and there's nobody coming. It should have proceeded and be okay to proceed. I genuinely don't drive this area that often. I think 'cause there's bad traffic, we're taking like a different route. So I honestly am not sure where we should be going right now and what roads we're on. So I'm gonna do kind of what I said before. I'm just maximizing the visualizations and more so just gonna trust the car to make the right turns rather than hyper fixate on if it's getting into the right lane and staging correctly. And we'll see how it does there. Like, I can see what it's going to do up ahead, but if I'm not looking at it on the map, it's definitely less of my focus. This car behind us, I don't know what he's trying to do. Oh, I think he wants to turn left. That was wrong. I think probably very human, but we definitely just ran that stop sign there. Like, we just went through with this driver on that stop, which was worked out because there's nobody around us. I'll report that actually. And then we should be going right now, I think, because of this guy we're not. I'm going to have to give an accelerator press. Yeah, strange. Okay, that's too bad. So it handled this little area poorly, to be honest. And I'm not sure why. Should just go. Yeah, nice. I'm not sure why it ran that one stop sign there, and then I'm not sure why it was waiting at the next one there. Like, that guy was on the road getting into his truck, but we definitely should have gone or could have gone. We did go. I pressed the accelerator and the car made it. Okay, so we should go right here. That's bad. I'm disengaging. Okay, so that's kind of similar situation where we were stuck behind a person turning, and where we were, no one could go around us on the right. We were causing this guy to be uncertain of what we were doing. Yeah, the car just needs to be a lot more confident in that situation. It needed to just go around to the right, and I'm not sure why it didn't. Anyways, we should go now. So that's definitely something that it's struggling with currently, is staging itself in that situation. And then it becomes a big problem in traffic, right? Like, I think it's happened 2 or 3 times on this drive.
Your car.
Okay, as a human, I might have let this person in. Maybe we are? Oh, wow, we are. That was very nice of us. Good job, full self-driving. Okay, yeah, there was a person there turning left, and we're just in very slow traffic. For me, the right thing to do is let them in. It's not like there's a million people turning left. There was just one person that wanted in. So I thought FSD wouldn't recognize that and would have just gone, but we definitely slowed down, gave a gap, and he took it, waved at us. He was very thankful for it. So I appreciate seeing those moves, because like, that's kind of what everybody needs to do in order for our roads to work. Like, you kind of need to, yeah, it was our right of way and we didn't have to stop for him, but it was nice for us to do. So I'm glad the car makes decisions like that. This is also one of those like unique situations where the stop sign, us stopping, is going to be problematic. Like, we shouldn't stop, and I'm gonna coach the, yeah. See, like, I got flashed of the high beams as a result, and I don't think, okay, we're good. Nobody stops at that stop sign because traffic is clearly stopped from the left, so people just want to get through that intersection as fast as possible. It's hard. Like, legally, you're supposed to stop there, but nobody does. And when you do, people will get mad at you. So I don't know. Maybe there shouldn't be a stop sign there. Maybe that's a bad design flaw. I don't know the answer, but I know having the car do everything there becomes an issue. With that said, though, I'm glad that the car has gotten into this left lane when it did. I was worried, like I said, that it was going to go into that lane, go far down, and try to merge over. People do that for sure, but that's the wrong thing to do. Like, everybody here is waiting in this lane to turn left up here. So, really good job. So we should go. These people, I guess have the right of way. I'm hoping we merge behind this red car on our left, so we should slow down. We're creeping way more forward than I would. I'm gonna intervene. Yeah, so the car was going further up than it should have. So we should, hey. Like, yeah, I'm not sure why it was waiting so long there. I mean, there was like the car in front of us, then us. Like, it was a very simple like 1-and-1 merge, and we were going further up than we should have, which then put us in a weird spot. So disengagement there. I'll report it. Probably here would be perfect, yeah. I guess technically it could run right to the end of this, but this is good. Like, the lane is definitely narrowing. We have a spot. This is perfect. Nice job. So I'm going to leave it in hurry mode. So with that, I think we're probably going to end up getting over as quickly as we can. We'll see what the profile does. So that was one where I disengaged preemptively because the car in front of us kind of slammed on the brakes. Again, like, I bet FSD would have done it. I just currently don't trust its late braking on the highway, so I'm erring on the side of caution there. Yeah, so like, I want to brake right now, and it did just a second after I was going to, so that was fine. Okay, we have our own lane, we should go, but then we should get into the left lane fairly quickly, so I'm hoping we get behind this white car. Nice. It's a great job there. So maybe only towards the end of our drive will it get dark enough, but one of the issues I still do have with FSD at night is headlights from vehicles coming towards us, specifically trucks, will cause a phantom brake. That's on this build 100%. It happened on the previous builds. And it's a lot of the reason that I don't use full self-driving at night, because if you're on a 2-lane road like this and you come up to a car and the vehicle slams on the brakes, if you have somebody behind you, it's an issue. And then even if you don't, it's just uncomfortable to be in the car when it kind of does that harsh phantom braking. So in a little bit here, this road we go down is one that I have issues with it a lot. So if it ends up getting dark enough, we'll probably see it pop up. So this is the situation where we should be doing more what the car behind us is. I'm just going to disengage, move over a little so that it can get by. It's hard. I want the car to do what this car is doing so that we're over enough so that people can go past us. Whereas where we had staged ourselves, which I understand what full self-driving was doing, it was following these yellow lines. Like, we're driving over this yellow line, which is wrong. Like, you would never want full self-driving to do it. But in this context, everybody goes here so that people can go beside us. And had we not done that and stayed over there, we would have been blocking traffic. I guess that's the real tough part about self-driving and the nuances of, had there been no traffic, I would have wanted full self-driving to follow the road and then cut in here and never drive on that yellow. But because there is traffic, I want it to do what this car is doing in front of us and stay out of the lane so that people can go by on the right. It's tough. Because if you don't do that, you're going to get honked at. And then people are going to get mad at you, right? This is exactly the situations we've been having with full self-driving not doing what all these other cars are doing. And then it sort of becomes a problem, right? Like, we need to go around cars like that to be natural on the road. You become more of a nuisance when you don't, especially because we were the lead. I saw that person signaling, and I kind of expected that to happen. And so the car should have seen that as well and tucked over and gone around them. But yeah, see, there's like that braking that just happened. That was minor, honestly. And I may end up taking over if it does it a couple more times, because this road especially is very bad for it, for me. And I have a, yeah, see right there, see slamming on actual brakes. I have a newer Tesla, so, you know, it's I know you can clean the glass, and that can definitely fix things, but my vehicle that's 7 months old, 8 months old, shouldn't need to be serviced in order to drive at night. Or if it does, then I think it should be something that Tesla handles every single time it's in the service center. I don't know, because I can't see that camera feed. Like, it doesn't show me. I'd have to put into my I have to put the thumb drive into my computer to see what that camera is seeing, but I feel like it should be clean enough to drive at night. I'll let it do one more harsh brake if it happens, and then I'll probably just end the video since I'm close to home anyways. But I will say, overall, really good job on the drive. Few issues here and there, and there's definitely still big issues with full self-driving that make it not perfect. This harsh braking being one of them. And then you could tell, like, just a few other things when we were downtown and it wasn't going around vehicles like it should have. But for 99.9% of the drive, it was great. So really good job overall. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully this wasn't too long. I may end up breaking it up into multiple drives, just because I think it was almost 4 hours of driving altogether. And that will be a long video, so I may do one long video and a few smaller ones. But let me know if there's anything you'd like to see, anything more you'd like me to talk about, anything you'd want me to talk less about. Happy to have as much constructive criticism as possible. And yeah, so this will be the end of the video. I may just fast forward if I do get one more harsh brake to show it. If not, this is the end of the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, I think there's still, my mic died, so this is gonna be on the GoPro. It's gonna sound a little different. I think there's still construction up ahead here. Looks like there is. I'm almost certain I'll have to intervene, so I'm not gonna let it get too far unless we're going through with traffic. Would love to see it stop for the flagger and go appropriately, so we'll see what happens right after the light here. Like I said, I don't want to really push it because it's dark and I can barely see, but I can see that she's holding a stop sign up ahead, so we'll see what happens here. So she's holding a stop sign. If it was me, a human driver, wow, it's hard to see, I would stop right now or like start slowing down. Yeah, it's not. So I'm disengaging. To be fair, this is a shitty setup on their part. Like, she needs more of a light on her and not to be sitting there in the dark holding their stop sign. But definitely FSD did not pick up on that, so that was an issue. I'd have to look at the camera after and see if it saw them and remarked on the stop sign in their hand. But I have no idea how it treats it. But like for this stop sign, absolutely, we should come up to it and then we should go, because we should be right up to the stop sign. For a flagger or somebody on the side of the road that's holding a stop sign, we should be way, way, way back. We shouldn't come right up to them to stop, because that's very uncomfortable. If I'm a flagger and some robo car is driving at me and they don't stop until like 1 foot away, like they did a stop sign, that'd be very uncomfortable. Yeah, interesting scenario. Like I said, I don't, and we should be slowing down for this person. We don't until now. Interesting scenario. Like I said, I didn't really expect FSD to do it perfectly, because FSD is not perfect right now, but something I can improve on 100%. And then this is definitely an issue that still happens. That car was just stopped on the road, and we slam on our brakes, which we don't need to. But anyways, that's it. Bye-bye, see ya.